It's a pleasure to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to climate innovation, most of the discussion is on renewables. But the fact is, the developing world, specifically Asia, is heavily dependent on coal for economic growth. Even with the Paris Agreement, this is not going away anytime soon. In fact, by 2040, the IEA is projecting 75% of primary energy use still coming from fossil fuels. So the question is, how can those coal-dependent emerging economies achieve low-carbon growth? We basically have two options moving forward. One, business-as-usual combustion of fossil energy, sending billions of tons of carbon in the atmosphere, or two, we can start capture CO2 and prevent it from being released, ideally turning the carbon into a commodity. How? For example, with enhanced coal bed methane recovery. We capture CO2 and inject it into coal seams that contain methane. The CO2 displaces additional clean burning methane. The utilized CO2 is stored permanently and safely underground. We call that strategy carbon capture, utilization, and storage, CCUS. I know that for most of the environmental community, CCUS is not an ideal solution, but it's a pragmatic approach that can ultimately build a bridge to low-carbon economy. Once captured, CO2 can be utilized in a variety of ways and even reused, which you will hear about from my fellow panelist, Mr. Kuse. And please keep in mind that only carbon capture can effectively control carbon emissions from large point sources such as coal-fired power plants and industrial facilities. So the challenge has been, how can carbon capture be done affordably? We believe we have a solution. Jupiter Oxygen Corporation has worked over 10 years together with the DOE's National Energy Technology Lab on a clean coal pathway, operating a test facility in the US for 7 years. Our unique oxy-combustion technology enables cost-effective carbon capture through much concentrated CO2 in the flue gas and also enables efficiency gains in the boiler. Joint technology captures 95% of the CO2, eliminates all key pollutants, and also reuses the water from coal combustion. Parasitic power losses are down to 20%. All of the combustion products are controlled, as you can see from this schematic. Now, if CO2 and other byproducts can be sold into the market, carbon capture costs are significantly reduced. And this is not theory. This is already happening with our first project in Western China. The key to making this all work is selecting a power plant that is near an ECBM site. That way you have a market for CO2, and it makes the operation economically viable and attractive to the industry. We have also a lot of activities ongoing in India. We are currently assessing the market with focus on West Bengal, also reaching out to banks for financing support. In fact, financing support and policy tools, as discussed in the prior session, are essential for accelerated technology deployment. Here on the slide is what we need to help make this happen. But first and foremost, we need policy parity with renewable energy. And the discussed carbon pricing is, of course, an excellent step in that direction. Let me summarize. The benefits of this particular CCUS ECBM strategy are increased domestic production of natural gas, environmental co-benefits, social benefits, and most importantly, it will bring down the cost for carbon capture technology. The cost will be reduced for wider application. It's a starting point. Now, Mr. Kuse will elaborate carbon reuse potential. Thank you so much for your attention. Goya?